Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We're heading into the town hall and we are going to try and serve a meal. Well, no, we're serving wine, I think, to, what's his face? Sigismund. But we're there to spy, basically. Now which outfit shall I switch out? Because we're going to have to, I'll do this one because it has less elements to it. But we need to put on our Royal Waiter's hat. Take off the Wanderer's hood. We've got the Royal Waiter's coat. Take off that. We'll take off the hand wraps. I'll probably take off all the weapons as well, right? So what else have I got? I've got hose of a Royal Waiter. I probably should put some shoes on, right? Maybe the working boots. Or maybe I should put the courtier's boots on. Should I put gloves on? I've got noble gloves. Yeah, okay. And let's put on some of our jewellery as well, maybe. Where is it? Yeah, I'll put on our rings. There we go. Hopefully that's alright. Don't think there's anything there that's not appropriate. Let's do a quick save. And let's go and speak to the guy. Probably this guy, Major Domo?
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here.
We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on.
So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. There is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have.
Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you.
You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be.
Yay.
Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Okay, we probably ought to just take any
I'll happily listen
tips
to
he can
any
give us.
advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhit stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Don't spill any.
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something.
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Okay, so apologies, my dog. They're kicking off. I think he heard a pigeon or something outside. Well, yeah, what if I mess up?
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. So, are you prepared?
Yes.
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Gutenberg City Council. Morning. Pouring wine. A guest will order either white or red by calling out to you and raising their hand. If you're unsure, you can ask them to repeat their order. Pouring wine. On the table in the corner of the room, you'll find 2 pitchers. Take the one that one of the guests wants to pour and walk to his table with the pitcher. The chat will activate the option to pour wine for him. After serving, return the pitcher or wait to see if the next guest wants the same. Be careful not to let guests wait too long or pour them a wine they didn't order. Repeated delays or mistakes will not be tolerated. Oh dear. Okay, so which one's Adam?
Our current Waffenarsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
Boy, I'd like some white.
What are you getting at, Eldris?
Who said that?
I'm saying that the bandits who
White.
freed
Okay,
König,
that'll
the
be this
Dry
one, I
Devil,
expect.
Used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it?
Boy,
Where did they
are you
get
deaf
them?
or something? Why?
You're the one who should
white,
know where they
sir?
got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying?
Thank you.
Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison.
I apologize.
And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
I'd like
What
some
I
monastery
smell
wine.
is that your
Refill
stubborn
my cup,
heads
boy.
do not realize what Schwierigkeit
That's not a good
this
idea,
is.
sir.
This is
The Dry
unbelievable.
Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves
That was Adam.
with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful
The dog's
King
under the
Sigismund
tables.
is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
White up.
Shut
Pour
up.
me red wine.
The king can arrive at any moment.
Red wine.
What if he heard you?
What then?
Enderlin's
We're
over
sitting
here, I
atop
think.
the biggest silver
which one was
heap in the
Enderlin?
kingdom, and we're supposed to
Oh,
defend
God.
it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris.
Monastery
Where can we
wine
get the
here.
coin for better
Oh, you. Okay.
We can always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm
right on
afraid
edge.
I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter.
sorry.
Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
I'd like some monastery wine. Refill my
Not
cup.
for you, Adam.
That's not a good idea, sir.
This is unbelievable.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
Hey, what does he want?
We do have the new
More
bath
wine,
hop
Master Bailiff.
and Adam's old ones, but I hear the hop-ring baths are more of a pigsty.
They still are a bit.
Oh, which one's the bailiff?
But the quality went downhill at Adams, too.
The
What?
Boomel.
Right, hell. I thought you were a frequent customer there. Or
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Yeah, I have to serve wine.
I can't. I'm supposed to serve the lords.
You're supposed to do what you're told. But suit yourself. I'll go and get it myself after the assembly.
Get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what?
Boy,
Going
like
to the
some white.
baths is neither a civic duty nor
Peter
a
Mailer
right.
White. Okay.
Have you forgotten
Don't remember
the
where
Black
he is.
Death?
Oh,
A
let's
great
find
many
him.
people died.
Oh, here he is. No, that's not him.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black
Oh,
Death
this
had
is him.
nothing to
Boy,
do with the baths.
where is my white?
Unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spend.
I stay with the table. It'll cut down a bit of
Who is
walking
going to
time.
wash
Hey,
where
waiter.
and how?
Pour me some monastery wine.
No.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing
This
about
is
the same thing.
unbelievable. Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle? Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The
like
least
Birmingham.
we can do for the citizens is to provide them
Currently in the
with a
midst
place
of a
to wash
garbage
up.
strike.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Sounds good to me.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His
fancy some
Majesty
Tokai.
honors us with his
Refill,
visit.
boy.
And as we
Eldris,
know,
Tokai,
Gunslin
Monastery.
absolutely hates him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well,
Hey, where's my white?
I apologize, sir. Which
I'm
one?
speaking
White
about the
Tokai.
Rutard incident.
Oh no.
You were there,
I thought
weren't you?
Tokai. Oh god.
that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out.
Right, Henry, speed up a little bit.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours,
Sir?
as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Rutard, true.
Eldris. I don't remember Eldris.
Really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble.
Waiter,
He is sensible
pour me
enough
red wine.
not to draw attention
Crondle.
to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first.
Sir?
God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happens,
Thank you, waiter.
there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got
Oh, the
out
king's
of order
gonna
in
arrive.
town.
Assume he's going to sit here.
Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels.
Yeah, that's us.
Not only barbaric, but also illegal. I could understand it with mercenaries.
Babak. Was that white?
Scum of all kinds, but city councillors?
You go, Babak.
Specific, Forsooker. Are you blaming one of us?
I apologize, sir.
And look who spoke
Which one?
first.
Tokai! White!
Oh, I thought
Are
that,
you
but why?
deaf?
Oh,
Sir?
couldn't pour from that
Supposed to be
angle.
in honorable combat.
Don't hang around me.
Take
Vanish! You hear
And
me?
that's the only reason you're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
If you want to blame somebody, you should point the finger at the youngster here who's...
Excuse me.
Never mind.
Everything in order?
I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword fighting school brought this custom to us.
Right, which one's
It's
Franz?
now run by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be...
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
So you will just leave it be?
Alright.
I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural...
Are you
have
kidding me, man?
But why?
Because I'm bored. And because I told you. Get on with it.
Oh, you son of a...
You can rest assured the whole
How many
town
figures
is
have
already
goddamn
there
wings? Alright, let's take his
all day
gloves.
long.
That was easy enough. And he wanted me to count the winged figures.
My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly.
Don't
with
know.
the Emperor
1,
Charles,
2,
and no one is left unscathed.
3...
You, a councillor, let
I'll make up a
throw
number.
dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who can...
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
Nope.
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Haven't you noticed?
Monastery wine, that's red.
Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
You,
Oh,
lad.
you do? Do you?
Look familiar to me.
And what would that be?
Have we met?
Like, for instance, that you
I
would
really
like to
couldn't
have
say,
your
sir.
altar there?
So what if
I
I
have
would?
a feeling.
Hold your
I've
horses,
spoken
gentlemen.
with you before too.
That space in the side
Or
nave
with
is
someone
mine.
who looks a
The
hell
hell
of a
fees is
lot
over,
like
my
you.
friend. Your
I have one of
place
those
is at least
faces.
2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me. You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I
Hey,
hope
boy.
you're not supplying
Full
equipment
cup
to
of
the
monastery
army.
wine.
If that's all
Okay,
they have,
monastery.
they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopring.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
It's you.
Oh,
I
yes,
see you've
it's
come
to
up in
me.
the world.
Because
From a
it has
bathhouse
all
boy
been
to a
sorted
waiter.
out.
You'll go a
Not
long
long
way.
ago,
I might
the
make
guards
councillor
raided
one
and threw
day.
them all out.
Ah, yes,
You're a
forgot.
merry soul, lad.
What do we
I
have
like
to
that.
discuss next?
We're waiting for the king now. It's all gone a bit quiet. Aha! I guess not.
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Kirchek Össe, Alegiop Katonaikat, Ishkelkinek Utra.
Dun dun dun.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Unlike this plan of false!
At that time at Rabosh Fortress. We're gonna be playing Godwin, maybe?
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject.
His father must be ancient.
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they keep him mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Okay, so we gotta get to know people. I'm gonna see if you want some wine first. Oh, you can't drink anything. Okay, here we go. Noble. Guards. Anna of Volstein, no? You gotta be the rabbi.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
Well, maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
Godwin's not going to waste a chance to have a drink.
L'chaim.
Hans. Who else we got? We've got a bunch of nobles. Jean of Liechtenstein. Are you anyone? Oh, Conrad? No? Okay.
Fella could give me.
We've got people in here. Brabant.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin. A friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole son won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobs proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Okay, tell me more about
Tell me a
them.
bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a
male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
Okie doke.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Drink.
Success
Always
to our
drink.
plans.
Okay, so we're going to go and talk to a bunch of people. Anna was sitting by the fire, although she's moved. I think she's over there. Hello.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Job's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ! Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Haman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Helper.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Interesting. Okay. We can try go do that now. So probably out there. Is it N? It feels like I'm going quite far. Oh yeah, it is. In here then? I thought someone saw me, but no one's searching, so...
What's that? Huh? What brings you here?
Nothing? I've got a bit lucky there. I don't think he's really worried too much about it. Okay, need to go up again. Tell her the deed has been done.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Lady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
Bottoms
How
up.
could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
I feel like Godwin's going to start getting a bit wobbly on his feet. How far's the drunkenness meter going up? It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So there's people who aren't in here by the look of it. Oh, Conrad. No, he wasn't one of ours, was he? Someone of Kunstad is the one I've got to speak to. Let's see who we got in here. Alder.
I'd like to check your horses out. See if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. but you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest. I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guest some more?
Is that his dad?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Older.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor.
Yeah, he's going a bit further than I thought he would when I selected that option.
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Okay, well I guess we're going to beat up our brother.
Settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
You don't know which end of that thing is up. Cover your right side. You've got a gap there I can drive a cart through.
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed honest until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime.
He's not so bad.
About it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Hey, okay. So there's people in this courtyard. I don't know where the last one is. I think maybe... Is it up, or is it around here somewhere? I think it might be... Not these guys. These look like mostly guards. He's probably upstairs. Could he be in here? That's him.
Health, my friends.
Who else have we got in here?
We're trying to
Guards
forge
and
an
nobles.
alliance against our
Oshek
common
of
enemy.
Kunstadt.
They're trying to
Oh, and
do one
Ziska's here.
thing.
Should we talk to Ziska?
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze. And the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance. Maybe on the field of battle?
Alright, well, let's talk to this. That's not it. Which one is he? Is this one?
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips, and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Don't worry, it's not just your money I want to draw on. Believe it or not, we've gained other patrons for our cause too.
Really? Name at least one of those lunatics, then.
Anna of Volstein, for instance.
Truly? Well, let's see about it, then.
I wouldn't mention the word lunatic.
All right, let's discuss it, candidly. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
Capon.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation.
Back of Ziska's
And Hanush
eyeballs are
can
finding a bit
always rely
off-putting.
on, despite his temper, maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Alright, I'm sure Hans will be fine with it. Thank you, Ziska, for treating us to the sight of the backs of your eyeballs. Hanush is down here, isn't he? Good news.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
He seems happy, at least. Cheers.
Cheers to you, and to your parlaying skills.
Well, that was easy. Okay, let's go tell him the good news.
Sir Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Hell yeah.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
All right. All done. Liechtenstein's upstairs, I think, isn't he? There he is.
We walk out of here with a clear...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have
Hans,
also
please.
changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Congrats.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Meanwhile, at Kuttenberg City Hall... Where's Henry's hat gone?
After we conquered the city, you
There it
promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, All you have to do is make sure the city rabble get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Maybe we should go and stand by the wine.
Rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm.
What does he want? What did he want? Red or white?
Pour us a monastic wine. The monks
Monastic wine.
We have concerns.
And we gotta not look at him.
The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still
He's being nice. He's being very nice to us. It's weird.
The mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word.
What about Gordon Ramsay in Kitchen Nightmares when he goes into a restaurant and just is horrible to like the management and so on, but like to the waiting staff. He's always very, very polite and respectful. Maybe he's a bit like that.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very
What are you looking at?
They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least.
I wonder how long we're going to be here.
Yops does everything he can to sow
Can we sneak
so
off?
that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty.
Red.
Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities.
I could keep the red, but I'm just, you know, he might switch it up.
And Hungary.
Terrible idea to mix white and red, of course. Well, make rosé, but
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good. To your health.
is this guard just staring at me?
And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, you need to crack down on the big.
Maybe a sign that he's not the bad guy everyone else is painting him to be?
The consul was meeting.
I don't really know my middle-aged Bohemian history, so I don't really know much about what he was like in reality.
Once we get Odin, we can handle Ruthard easy. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malashov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine.
Red wine.
We shall have white. We have had enough.
Told you, I knew he'd change it up.
Quickly. The bush falls. Others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square.
I wonder how much of this info they're talking about is valuable intel.
Benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea.
Stop staring at me!
The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
Of course.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Later at Rabosh Fortress. I think Henry's doing a good job where he is, so there's that.
Surely you don't.
Godwin's gone a bit. He's gone a bit wobbly. But you know what? I think we'll leave it there for now. We'll come back next time. I haven't checked the time of the video, but I imagine it's sort of getting up there in length. Bit of a story-heavy one, but it was fun to sort of see the king for the first time in the game and sort of serve him wine, and I think we did all right. yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts on how things are progressing. It was nice to play as Godwin again as well. He's quite a fun character, and chance to see things from a different perspective for a change. And if you enjoyed the video, as I hope you did, if you could hit that like button, that'd be fantastic. And if you're watching this and still not subscribed to the channel, if you could do that as well, that'd be fantastic. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.